My parents divorced so early on in my childhood that I don't ever recall a time of them being together. And for a good portion of my childhood, I was raised by my grandparents. Some of the best memories I have come from that time growing up on the farm. We had horses, ponies, dogs, cats, ducks, chickens, and acres of land to explore and experience. I remember swimming in the pool and my grandma pushing in one of the St. Bernards to swim with us, eating out of the garden and from all the fruit trees, climbing the trees and the rocks, riding my big wheel down the hill, and playing with all the animals. All of the dogs loved us so much they would often fight over us. I would throw a lemon as though they were balls, and every one of the dogs would chase it and bring it back half open with lemon juice dripping out of their mouth, so happy to hear my praise and giggles. The cats? I could dress them up in my baby doll clothes and push them around in my baby doll stroller. Mr. Mallard, the wild duck who lived in our pond, would waddle around quacking away each time I would feed him. But my favorite was our horses. 6 horses and 2 ponies. I can still remember all 8 of their names. They all seemed humongous back then compared to my tiny little stature. But I was never afraid. They were all so gentle and careful, knowing and sensing that my heart was full of nothing but love and adoration for them. To this day, they are my favorite creature. I spent every moment in the horse corrals, brushing them, leading them around, climbing atop the rails to mount and ride, and all the while at that early age, I just knew I was going to be a cowgirl. I loved the days when my grandpa hooked the pony up to the pony cart to ride back and forth across the dirt road on the property. I relished how strong and powerful I felt driving that pony cart. Despite how little I was, each of the horses responded to my prompts and lead, laying boards on the ground and teaching my horses to jump over them. I knew for sure that when I grew up, we would gallop through open fields, jumping rocks and mounds, rounding up cattle, racing with the wild ponies. It was crystal clear in my little mind that eventually I would ride away in my saddle atop this beautiful creature into the sunset. Pure heaven, pure peace, pure tranquility, pure safety. Not once in my tiny little mind did I ever wish to be a victim, nor did I ever imagine that this is where I would one day be. Even at that young age when the sexual abuse started, my tiny little brain compartmentalized what was happening in the darkest of nights to protect me so that I could survive. Looking back, I can remember periods of time missing in my memory, gaps that were somehow lost, yet as that little girl, I didn't understand why my days never seemed to be 24 hours. But those missing memories were there, already programmed within the depths of my mind, already conditioning me to accept atrocities from others. I knew nothing different. The faint memories of the abuse and neglect from my own parents already shaping me into a level of tolerance for abuse. You see, when we are young, we are trusting of everyone in our life, especially those older than us. The adults who were placed on this earth to protect us, to guide us, to train us to be adults ourselves. The science experiment of the beaten dog, I lived that every day. I learned not to flinch. I learned to sit still. I learned to keep my mouth shut. I learned to just take it. I was programmed. I was conditioned. I was trained to accept and expect unacceptable behaviors from others. But I still knew in my little soul I was going to be a cowgirl. I never fathomed, imagined, dreamed that I would one day grow up to be a victim.